Sheriff, will you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Walton County Sheriff Mike Atkinson. Approximately 2 p.m. this afternoon, Walton County Sheriff's Office Dispatch received a call from the Dollar General Store, which is located at US Highway 90 around Lancelot Road in the Mossinghead community. That call was that there was an individual there causing a disturbance and needed to be trespassed from the scene. The deputy that was dispatched, Deputy Will May, responded to that call. Deputy May was not supposed to be working today. He came in to volunteer to provide overtime assistance. Deputy May responded to the Goodwill store, made contact with the suspect. There was a brief discussion, approximately 10 to 15 seconds, in which the suspect exited the store with Deputy May walking out behind him. Within 10 seconds of the suspect walking out of the store with Deputy May behind him, that suspect drew a firearm and fired multiple rounds, striking Deputy Will May. Deputy May, to his great personal credit and courage, was able to draw his firearm and return fire. This short but violent gunfight resulted in at least 18 rounds being fired, with both individuals being hit. The suspect died on scene. Deputy May called for assistance, announced that he had been shot and shots were fired. Another deputy from the Walton County Sheriff's Office responded on scene within approximately 2 minutes and began to attempt to render aid to Deputy May. Within another 30 seconds to a minute, 2 deputies and a trooper also arrived. One of our deputies, being an EMT, also began attempting to render aid to Deputy May. Walton County Fire Rescue immediately responded to the scene as well. That is an advanced life support unit. They also began working Deputy May. We attempted to airlift Deputy May from the scene, but area conditions would not allow that to work. Walton County Fire Rescue transported Deputy May to North Okaloosa Medical Center, where for the next 4 hours, surgeons and doctors worked to save Will May's life. Will fought the entire time, from returning fire on scene to fighting for his own life. At 7:10 this evening, Deputy Will May succumbed to gunshot. Will had been a member of this organization officially since around 2014. He started as a communication officer, and then later in 2019 became a deputy sheriff. So for the past 6 years, he's patrolled. He's been a field training officer since 2023. Let me tell you what that doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you that he's a second generation member of this organization. His father was a retired assistant fire chief. His mother's a former dispatcher. He chose a lifetime of service. I am struggling on behalf of this organization to make sense of this, because I can tell you there is absolutely nothing tactically wrong that Deputy May did. I've been in this business 32 years. There is nothing I would have done differently. There was no indication whatsoever that this would have ended in that kind of violence. But that's what the men and women of this organization, the men and women who choose to put themselves in harm's way, understand and accept when we go to work. Watching it, it is just unfathomable to me that Will is not here. It's unfathomable to me that this happened. But I can tell you, and I want to say again, there's absolutely nothing he could have done differently, nor was there any indication of this individual's capable of this level of violence. Deputy May was wearing a ballistic vest. That vest did stop multiple rounds from the suspect. One of the rounds went underneath the vest, which ultimately caused his death. I'm going to try and answer any questions that you have with the best of my ability. You will not hear me say the suspect's name. He does not deserve that. I will not give it to you. If you want it, you can get it off the report. Does not have his name spoken. I will tell you that the efforts of our deputy sheriffs, assisted with Florida Highway Patrol, the Funiac Springs Police Department, the Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office coming to aid us, Fort Walton Beach Police Department are offering a Niceville Police Department, all coming in whatever manner they could to try and assist this family. This is an agency in shock and in disbelief that this happened. And it's certainly that it happened this way at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon for something where an arrest was not going to be made. The subject being dealt with was not even going to be arrested. They were simply asking him to leave. 25 to 30 seconds after his arrival, he was mortally wounded. It does not make sense. I will answer any questions that I can.
Do you have any information about, does he have a record, any past involvement with law enforcement?
Nothing that would indicate any level of violence. The subject was a concealed weapons permit holder. He had other weapons in his residence when we searched it, but nothing to indicate violence. In fact, he had not been arrested by this organization or any organization. Investigation ongoing, but that's where we sit right this second.
The weapon he had, was that legally allowed to be carried?
Yes, he was in possession of a concealed weapons permit. Not that that is no longer needed, but he actually still had it.
And the gun he had was legally purchased in his name?
We're in the process of investigating that, but there's no reason to believe it was not.
Is he from this area?
We're trying to ascertain that. He had been here at least for the last several years. We know that he arrived on scene by bicycle. We know where he was staying there, and we had dealings with him over the last couple of years, but for minor things such as check on the welfare.
But there's no indication other than,
No
indication.
None. None.
In your 30 odd years, there is no indication that you should be concerned to be concerned.
There was nothing that Deputy May would have known or that I know since then that would cause me any pause whatsoever. This is an interaction deputy sheriffs have every day in this county. Every day. Every day. We have them in traffic stops. We have Walton store. There was nothing about this to indicate. And in fact, the initial discussion between them, you can see that Deputy May, while being cautious, has no reason to believe that this is going to go anywhere. There are multiple eyewitnesses to this shooting as well, too. They were stunned as well at the speed at which this turned into a gun battle.
Was there a body cam?
Yes.
And when will that be released? If will it be released?
I don't know that it will be released. I will tell you that one of the rounds struck Deputy May's body camera. So we're unsure as to whether or not that would be able to be retrieved.
What?
Is Highway 90 still closed to the public?
I'm not sure this time. I think Highway 90 has been opened at this point. Yes, it is open at this point.
Was there any cameras that the Dollar General?
Nothing captured the incident outside the store.
And as you mentioned, Deputy May did everything right, and this happened in broad daylight. So what are some of the remaining questions you want answers to as this investigation?
Well, I think anytime, I think there's a desire, it's human nature to make sense of this. I just don't know how to make sense out of this. That's what I'm struggling, because I got to see this man's children and his wife and his father and his mother and try and tell them something that makes sense. Try and tell the men and women of this organization why this happened and what we could do different. But I can't tell you that. There's not a good reason. So for us, it's to provide as much as information as we can to the family and to this organization and to the public. But more importantly, I think even than that, based on what I know, is to honor a man's service and sacrifice. Didn't have to be at work today. By the way, last call of his shift today, he was on his way home. He said, I will catch this on my way home. You know, his wife told me a couple hours ago, I asked him not to go to work today. I just didn't want to go to work today. You don't need to work overtime today.
How many children do they have?
It's 2 children, 2 teenagers. And they're now at North Okaloosa Medical Center trying to make sense of this.
So what's the next step for the sheriff's office?
I think that for us, we would ask the public for a little bit of grace, a little bit of time to try and wrap our minds around this and to honor our deputy and to allow us to bury him with dignity and respect and to remember that this family is now without their father and their husband, and just honor his memory. I don't know what more I can do. My responsibility is to take care of the men and women of this organization, and I don't know what I could have done different tonight. And I'm thinking about it. And I'm gonna think about it the rest of my life. But what I will do is do everything I can to handle his family now the best I can, because I don't know what the hell to do otherwise.
If there's people out in the community that want to help the family, what would you suggest that they do?
I think we just need a minute to, this has just happened. We just need a minute to get ourselves together. And then in the future, we'll try and work with them and try and figure out how to, but I can tell you this, they got to support these children and try and get them through school. I know that. We're going to do everything that we can, but they're going to need the public's help and support. But right now, we've just got to try and wrap our minds around what just happened.
Last question, guys. Anybody? Good?
Thank you for your time, but I asked you just to take a minute and pay attention to me out there because he bled for people.